Good afternoon. I'm Chief Jack Jones from Bedford County Department of Fire and Rescue.
And I am Sheriff Mike Miller, representing the Bedford County Sheriff's Office. And the Chief and I would like to thank you and the community for your support and calmness during this difficult time, always with the COVID-19. With the Sheriff's Office, as you know, we started a call center. We've been delivering food. And thank you. We want to thank you for your prayers and the food that you've given us here at the Sheriff's Office. We have seen a lot of support here through our Sheriff's Office with our community, with each and every person that's called us. Maybe they've written us a letter or even hit us up on Facebook, just letting us know that you guys are supporting us during this time and asking us to continue to keep safe. And this is a time that I personally would like to come and thank you for that.
From the fire and rescue perspective, the opportunity that we've had to serve our citizens in a very different way has really been phenomenal, and it's been very uplifting during uncertain times. We've had to have citizens wear gowns and masks during many of our patient care encounters. We've had citizens make masks and donate them to us and to other parts of county government. And we've had any number of cards and letters and people offering their services. And it's so important that we recognize during stressful times, often the worst can come out in people. And we're just so thankful that in our community of Bedford County, what we have seen is the best come out in so many people.
And we have, even on the Sheriff's Office side, as the Chief said, with making of the mask. And, you know, with this complexity of this COVID-19, what we're having to do as a Sheriff's Office is to ask people to come outside, to meet with them outside. We have our protective equipment that we have to wear if we go inside your house. So you'll see a different look if we come inside your house than you would if we're outside. The reason for that is one is to protect the deputy, and two is to protect the citizens that we are here to protect and serve. So there's different strategies that we have come up with, working hand in hand with our fire and rescue, to be able to answer our calls, but yet try to keep everybody as safe as possible. The other things you may see is we may give you a phone call. If we don't need to respond to your residence, then we may give you a phone call and take the report over the phone. But all of that is just during this COVID-19 is to be able to keep us as safe as possible. And we appreciate each and every one of our citizens helping out and doing their part during this time.
We do always like to say that the best form of government is the local government. And we are subject to state and federal rules and guidelines that seem to be changing every single day. So as command staffs from all of your public safety entities, we would have to process that information quickly, make policies and procedures, and get it out to our field staff and responders and the people that are making a difference in the field every day and that you encounter, so that they had the most current information that was respectful of our citizens and of our responders that were in the field. And that was very taxing and very draining. Some of the skills that we needed to amend were some of our airway treatments and nebulizer treatments. The CDC was directing us not to give certain types of medications because it produced an aerosol when the individual would breathe the medication in. So some of our folks built tent-like containment vessels to go on stretchers so that we could give people that life-saving medication that was so critical to their care. And all of this, as with our law enforcement partners, was going on, folks in the field doing great work to meet the needs and the demands of our citizens.
You know, we've been talking about additional things that's happened. Not only have we been dealing with the COVID-19 and all of the different ideas and all the different strategies that has had to come with it, we've also been a full-service Sheriff's Office. We have not backed down at all. We continue to do every job that we did before COVID-19, and we continue to do a great job at it. All of our deputies are in it, and we need to know that. But during this COVID-19, we've had a couple of things. One is the vehicle pursuit, which ended up with an officer-involved shooting. Our deputies were involved into that also, is what it was. The second thing we've had is the deployment. Just last week, we had the deployment of our TAC team into Lynchburg to help them with the unrest that they had. Those men stayed down there for 8 days. Of course, coming home at night and getting some rest and ending up going back there is what they were doing. We also had our 2 rallies that we ended up taking care of here, and then thank goodness that the people in Bedford County are so nice and so calm, and we pulled off 2 rallies here in Bedford, in the town of Bedford, and it was very peaceful, and it was well meant, and it was well thought of, and we appreciate everyone that that put those two rallies together. And we also appreciate everybody that came out. And a lot of lessons were learned from there. And then we had a murder. And within 48 hours, our criminal investigations unit had a person under arrest for that murder. And they worked really hard day and night to do that. So with this investigation. So what we want to know and let our citizens out there know is that we've been really active. And but we've kept the main goal here at the Sheriff's Office is to make sure that we have the utmost respect, and we give the utmost respect to all of our citizens, even though this is an intense time right now with COVID-19 and everything going on in our world and in our community. We want everyone to know that we are here behind you and supporting each member of our citizens in Bedford County.
When we think of so many of the events that have been going on, we've had flooding where people did need to be rescued in our community from trapped automobiles, and our special operations team from Fire and Rescue was on standby for other parts of the Commonwealth due to incredible flooding they experienced. We had a major fire on Joppa Mill Road, which May Day was declared. We had 3 firefighters that were injured and required hospitalization. One of them was in critical condition and needed to be flown to Wake Forest. Thankfully, they're all safe and they're home right now. And we had a number of other standbys for other jurisdictions. And part of the thing that is just so moving for us in leadership roles is that our members, they're not afraid to come to work. They're not. They take it on the chin for our community every single day as professional as they are. But with this COVID and this unknown virus we're faced with, sometimes they're afraid to go home because they don't know if during the course of their sworn duty they've encountered something that's dangerous that they would bring back to their family. And I mean, for me, that's a very sad thing that an individual is afraid to go home. But then again, each and every day, the folks came to work. We never had problems with staffing issues or people calling off or whatever. People came to work and they did their duty for our community. And I think that's something that is just so reflective of the men and women that Bedford County has serving in their public safety disciplines.
And it goes along with the Sheriff's Office. Every day, our men and women showed up for work, called in, wanted to know if we needed extra work. And we were able to supply extra work for them too, is what we were doing. Our community has been fortunate in the lack of numbers presenting to be positive with COVID-19. And we appreciate all of the extra that you guys are doing out there to be able to help us make sure our numbers stay low. But we don't need citizens do not get too comfortable with our numbers being low and they start taking some risks that they don't need to take. So please continue to do everything that you're doing now to keep our numbers low so we can be a shining star for our community and for our state and for our country.